Hi, how are you? This is Sandstorm here, and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4. Today, once again, we are playing as the British Empire, which you may now see is named the Angevin Empire. But last episode, as you can see, we have greatly expanded off of the British Isles and moved into mainland Europe in our great expansionist policy, which has allowed us to weaken Germany by taking over lands that they would have eventually conquered. As I mentioned in the last episode, we need to make sure that we keep an eye on the troop count of the United States, which is right now pretty low. It's between 25 and 67, but it's 1940, and in the upcoming years that count is going to go through the roof. So what we need to do is start preparing an invasion for the United States. And the first thing we need to do is make sure that we have our allies' support. And Germany is going to go after Poland very shortly. But I don't think that should be a problem as long as we help out with Poland. So I'm going to go and justify a war goal on the United States. This will take 90 days, so I hope we can finish Poland quickly. Let's move the aircraft over to one of Germany's airports so that we can set them out over the Polish skies. We have some free dockyards available. I think we're going to go in and just add another one to any ship that is lacking in dockyards. Alright, Germany's got 1 day left to finish Danziger War. We've got the army out on an attack order from the German border, and we have the Air Force out patrolling the skies. Oh, I missed an air wing. Let's make sure we give this 100 stack orders to do close air support and strategic bombing over western Poland. And we should have no problem pushing through with air superiority and the combined forces attacking. And Poland refuses, so Germany has declared war, and we also finished our focus to hold Hong Kong. So let's go and start the Mediterranean Bastion focus. Let's see if they will let us in. They will not accept. Alright, well, I guess we'll just let Germany take care of Poland on their own. They are doing a war with the USSR, which is not exactly what I want them to be doing right now, but I guess we'll just try and move the army over to the American border. I've split our armies up into two army groups. We have the army with two. We have the army group with two armies that I'm going to assign to the western border with the United States. There should be just enough to cover every tile. And this army group here has more armies in it, so we will concentrate it on the Victory Point rich northeast. We'll set an attack order down to here and here. I've begun training a lot more divisions because I still don't believe we have enough to cover and push the tiles along the US border. We got some free military factories. I think we'll assign some more to the infantry equipment. And we're down on steel, so I guess we'll order some more steel from Germany. And I believe we're going to begin moving the Navy over to the United States. And we'll move the Air Force over to North America as well. We have a few more stacks we can deploy in some airports, and Poland just capitulated. So we'll deploy some bombers and some heavy fighters over in Western Canada. Interestingly enough, Poland has been liberated even though the rest of their country was completely annexed. Alright, and we just finished some rocket artillery. I think we'll go for the anti-tank. It appears the Soviets are more ready than the Germans have thought. Just comparing their division count, Germany does not have anywhere near the Soviet division count. And this is proven true if you look at their border as well. And due to the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, the USSR has occupied eastern Poland. So now they own all of this, which does shorten the front line a little bit, which may help Germany. Now this is worse for us because the Soviets will not have to devote any troops to a front with Finland. We finished an infantry equipment upgrade. I think we'll go down and research the improved computing machine. We have some free civilian factories, so I think we might start building some synthetic refineries in the north of France. It appears there is one undefended tile, the very westernmost tile on the western front, so we may be able to dash in and take Seattle. We completed the Mediterranean Bastion. I think we'll do protect Suez. And we've got 5 unassigned divisions, which we will assign to the Orange Army on the Western Front. We now need to deploy all our divisions in training, even if they're only half trained, because our war justification will be complete soon. We now have 25 divisions, so I'm going to assign one of them to the Western Army, and then create a new army and assign them to the Eastern Front with General Richard O'Connor. Since we created a new army, we have to delete the orders again because we need to redo the front lines with the new army factored in, and we now need to cancel all of these extra lines we set up because we do not have the manpower or equipment for any of this. And we need to deploy all of our tanks as well, which we will assign to our tank army. I have just realized we are very far over capacity at this airport, so I'm going to try and sort that issue out. Italy declared war on Yugoslavia. This is not good for us because that means they will not be committing their full forces that they could be to the United States front, but it is what it is. And our justification is complete. We will not declare war immediately because our troops are still transporting across the Atlantic Ocean. All the aircraft are sorted out. Let's deploy them all to New England. And I just realized our tanks were still on a fallback in the Netherlands. We've got some more free civilian factories. I think we're going to go and build some more civilian factories in the south of France. And we have enough political power to change our conscription law. I think we'll go up to partial mobilization. We are running out of time on our justification, so let's just declare war on the United States and call in Canada whenever we are ready. And the United States calls the Philippines in. Let's set out our navy to the eastern seaboard. Oh my goodness, they have all their navy out here as well. I think we're going to need the rest of our ships on the eastern seaboard too. The North American Association faction was just created between the United States and the Philippines. It appears as if our tanks just got caught. Yes, our tanks just got caught. And we just lost the tank. Well, it is what it is. The rest of them made it. And we finished the Cromwell tank. Let's just go down and research the Valentine. Alright, all of the troops have arrived in Canada, and I think there's nothing else to wait for. Let's call Canada in. There we go. And Canada has been called in. Let's see if we can push the Eastern Front. It appears as if we can push the Eastern Front pretty well, so we'll try and push all the way down the eastern seaboard and capture as many major cities as we can. We're having a bit of trouble getting air superiority though. I think we'll have to deal with that for most of the war. And Yugoslavia has capitulated to Italy. We have now gotten an upgrade for the medium tank, so we'll switch that over to the upgrade. We're losing ships and the Americans are losing planes. It's not a bad trade-off, but we can't keep doing this. This was a bad one. We lost almost half of our fleet. I think we may have to abandon the coast. Yes, most of our ships died. We are about to win this tile, and Italy wants to send a lend-lease. Sure. And we just won the tile, so let's run in and take Detroit. We have plenty of troops, so as long as they only give one division to this front, we should be able to push them very well in the Midwest. I think we'll give some fighters the order to go to the Midwest. And hopefully the Americans don't react quick enough so we can get air superiority while we push this front for a while. We finished another artillery upgrade. Let's go for an anti-air upgrade. This division is now encircled, and Leon Trotsky gets assassinated. It looks like Chicago's open, so let's take the opportunity. It looks like they're committing forces, but not very many. So we should be able to push this front for a very long time. If the Americans only have enough troops to commit one division to each tile along your border, then opening any major front will basically result in their downfall. Not another naval battle. We finally won a naval battle, and we sunk 6 of their submarines, and we took no casualties at all. We also finished our National Focus Protect Suez, so I think we'll go for the BSA company. We have took and are holding Chicago, and the Americans have taken all their planes away from the Midwest. We are now moving into Cleveland, and we've opened a new front here in Buffalo. This invasion of America can be a bit micro-intensive, but if you're willing to do it, it will work very well. Let's see if we can link up these fronts. They have no troops here now that we've opened up this front in the Midwest. They've had to divert so many divisions from the Northeast. We will now attempt to run towards Boston because this is their only port in the area. And another open tile. We sunk 6 American submarines. We have linked the fronts, and we will attempt to keep pushing over to the East Coast. I'm now going to attempt to encircle this whole front line. And I think we can get an encirclement off on this one division here. We've been slowly gaining military factories throughout the whole invasion, so I'll add one on the medium tank production line. We've managed to get a nice encirclement in the Midwest. Let's see if we can clean it up. We are getting close to Washington, the capital. We finished another naval doctrine, and we're going to go for the hunter-killer groups down the same naval tree. And we're now able to push the northeastern front with ease. They are spread very thin on the western front. I'm going to try and initiate the attack order. Let's see if we win. Yes, we do. There's still some open gaps that we can run through. In the west, looks like we might get another encirclement off here. And we got the encirclement off. It's only one division, but then again the Americans really don't have that many divisions at this point. We completed the mechanized offensive doctrine, and I think we're going to go down the shock and awe doctrine. I'm attempting to slip a division into the nation's capital, which appears like it may be possible. Never mind, it is heavily guarded. The Soviet Union declares war on Finland, even though Finland gave into the Soviet demands. We found an opening in the western front. I'm going to try and slip a few divisions through and see if we can get an encirclement. We finished our anti-air upgrade. I think we're going to go and get an anti-tank upgrade. We did get the encirclement off, and we captured 3 divisions on the western front. Let's clean up the encirclement. Now, since we encircled their front line, the Americans have no divisions here, and they are stretched very thin on every other front. So it appears that this is their downfall. We completed the BSA company. I think we're going to go for radar. And more free civilian factories. We'll just build some more civilian factories in France. Italy just declared war on Greece. It appears they are winning. We got another encirclement. And Italy cancels our lend-lease because they are now at war again. We've got 5 more unassigned divisions, which we will assign to this army. And 8 of our tanks have died, leaving us with only 2 left. What a tragic loss. Appears as if we're going to get another encirclement, this time in the northeast. The American Air Force has completely withdrawn from the New England Air Zone, leaving us with 100% aero superiority. We pulled off another encirclement in the northeast, but our tanks don't seem able to deal with it, so we may have to reroute an infantry division over to the encirclement. We completed the improved computing machine, which now means we can get encryption and decryption 2nd level. So we'll go with some decryption. There are so many empty tiles on the northeastern front right now, it's not even a war. Oh my god. We have made it to Washington, but we appear to be abandoning the tile right next to it. This is curious. And Canada has taken Indiana. I'm going to request that back. Oh, and I just realized Canada is taking care of Alaska. And we got Indiana back. I'm now going to attempt to connect the eastern and western fronts. And just like I thought, we got pushed back from the town next to Washington because our troops wanted to leave it. But this does leave Washington undefended. We are now pushing a town Baltimore's in, which is right next to Washington. So we will be able to walk into Washington while it's undefended. Though it appears as if these 2 divisions might make their way there before we can push the Baltimore tile. We've got to import a little more steel from Germany. although they have stopped delivering steel. I think we'll import from the Soviet Union. There's another gap, this time right into Philadelphia. Philadelphia is lightly defended with 1 division. I wonder if New York is defended. The Soviet Union and Finland have signed a white peace, as always, and we've gotten an encirclement off of 3 divisions. Let's attack him before he gets away. The victorious British troops parade up and down the streets of downtown New York. Greece capitulates to Italy, and we can now push Washington. I'm going to take 1 cavalry unit to try and capture all the victory points in the west. This probably will not work. We got our anti-tank upgrade complete. We'll go with the QF6 pounder. The encirclement is complete and we are closing in on all sides. Philadelphia is now open again. And we completed radar. Let's go fortify Malta. We're also training too many divisions at this time. Let's deploy all the ones we have training. Because we are getting a bit low on manpower, we're going to have to stop training divisions for a minute. We have trained some more tanks to put into our tank army. And we have 5 more infantry divisions to put into what every army needs them. We've got some free dockyards from the United States. Let's keep assigning them to more boat production lines. And assign some military factories to the light tank 2s. Washington finally falls to the victorious British forces. Their new capital is now Los Angeles, but our cavalry division appears to have gotten terribly encircled. It is to be expected. I wonder if we can get an encirclement of this one division here. It appears not. The general populace no longer supports our decision of partial mobilization because of our low war support, so we will have to level down to early mobilization. It kind of sucks, but it is what it is. The United States is 68% of the way towards capitulation. Let's move some aircraft down to the East Coast. I think one of these tiles we just took over had about 10 dockyards in it, which is a huge boost to our naval production. Although we are taking quite a hit on our steel. Let's import some more. Richmond falls, and we will be able to hold it. appears as if we're going to make this a huge encirclement of American divisions if we can get this tile. And it appears we just won it. And let's close in and finish the encirclement. The encirclement is cleaning up nicely. We're getting many overruns. And let's not forget about that one division there. Oh my goodness, this might have been our largest encirclement by far. Our light tank is now outdated. Let's update it to light tank 3. The Americans have taken 564,000 casualties. And we're about to get another encirclement off. Everywhere you look at this point, you can just get an encirclement around the front line. There is no hope for the Americans. Although there is no hope for this horse either. We created quite a nice distraction though. We've drawn quite a few divisions away. We finished Decryption 2. Let's go for Encryption 2. Italy wants to send a Lend-Lease, thank you very much. We finished the QF 6-pounder, let's go for the QF 40mm Bofors. There are no American troops in sight. And we got extra war support. Amazing. And there is a division guarding the port, but it will be soon defeated. And another one. Soon to be defeated. And now there's a division that may cut us off, but we've got another division of reinforcements, and the Germans beat us to it. Thank you very much. They're spamming divisions to this port. I think they know what their fate is. Let's close off the encirclement. We've completed Fortify Malta. I think we're going to go down and do development in Australia. We'll run a division over to Atlanta and take the airfield on the way. And it's not really worth getting encirclements anymore, because you only catch one division in each encirclement. Oh no, we are out of manpower. But we are about to defeat the United States. They are 86% of the way towards capitulation. Let's press onwards. And we finished another naval doctrine. Let's keep going down that same tree, with the floating fortress being our next doctrine. The only victory point left here is Miami, so let's run to it. It's worth 5 victory points. And another easy encirclement down here. They will have a port, but we can defeat them anyway, even if they're not encircled. Let's run around and encircle this front line too. We finished Encryption 2. I think we'll go with the centimetric radar. And with our 100% research boost, it will only take us 45 days. Amazing. I think they found out what we were trying to do, and they are now guarding the encirclement. But it is what it is. We can still defeat them, even if they're not encircled. And we get draft dodging. Alright, we'll go for the expensive option. We do have quite a bit of political power, so I think we should be okay. It does temporarily put us in the negatives, but as long as there's no more draft dodging, I'll be fine with it. We finished the QF 40mm Bofors. We'll go with our next upgrade here for artillery. Let's see, if we can take the major cities in Texas, they might capitulate. The United States is 97% towards capitulation, so when we take Houston, they might capitulate. We may have to take San Antonio as well. But let's see, we have arrived in Houston, and they're 99% of the way towards capitulation. Let's pin them to make sure they don't liberate Dallas. And let's see if there's another easy victory point that we can take along the front lines. It appears they've made a naval invasion landing in Canada. Interesting. Well, anyway, we've got a huge encirclement here. So everyone except for these expeditionary divisions are going to clean up the encirclement. And the United States just capitulated. Let's see, can we take all states? Not quite. Let's take all states and untake the most expensive ones. Such as these southern ones here. And let's end the turn. And Canada gave us their war score. Let's pass. Take the rest of the states. And satellite the Philippines. And everything is done. Look at that. The United States was annexed. And with that, I'm sadly going to have to leave it here today. We appear to be out of time, but if you did enjoy today's episode, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button if you so care to. And until episode number 4, I'll see you later. Goodbye.